I spent 27 days trying to win my ex back. Flowers, letters, grand gestures. Then she chose her coworker. I said, "Thank you." She was confused. I explained, "You just freed me." 1 year later, when she called crying about him cheating, and then, I, 29 male, am writing this from a balcony that I can finally afford, drinking a coffee that doesn't taste like anxiety and compromise. It's been exactly 1 year since the day my life fell apart, and then immediately put itself back together in a configuration I didn't know I needed. Let's rewind. I'm an actuary. My life is risk assessment, spreadsheets, and calculated outcomes. I'm the guy who reads the terms and conditions. For 3 years, I applied none of that logic to my relationship with Becca, 27 female. Becca was magnetic. She was an aspiring ceramicist who worked part-time as a barista and full-time as a professional victim of the universe. I loved her. God, I loved her. I loved her chaos because I thought my stability balanced it out. I was wrong. My stability didn't balance her, it funded her. The breakup happened on a Tuesday. She sat me down on our beige love seat, which I bought, and told me she needed space to find her artistic voice. She said I was stifling her creative energy with my questions about budgets and cleaning schedules. She moved out to stay with her sister, leaving me with the lease, the dog, Barnaby, a golden retriever mix who is the best boy, and a heart that felt like it had been run through a wood chipper. For 27 days, I was pathetic. I'm not afraid to admit it. I did the pick-me dance. Day 1-7, I sent flowers, not grocery store bouquets. I'm talking imported peonies, her favorite, $150 a pop. Day 8-14, handwritten letters. I poured my soul onto heavy cardstock, apologizing for things I didn't even do. I apologized for working late. I apologized for asking her to do dishes. Day 15-21, the grand gestures. I bought tickets to a music festival she wanted to go to. I offered to pay for a private pottery kiln for the garage. Day 22-27, silence. I waited. On day 28, she agreed to meet me. We met at a hipster coffee shop downtown. The kind with exposed brick and $9 lattes. She walked in and she wasn't alone. Walking a step behind her, looking like he just rolled out of bed in a meticulously curated way, was Todd, 30s male. Todd is a soundscape architect. I still don't know what that means, but I know he works, or vibes, at the coffee shop where Becca worked. They sat down. Becca looked glowing. Todd looked bored. "Jason," she said, using her serious voice, "I got your letters. They were intense." "I meant every word," I said, ignoring Todd. "I want to fix this. I bought the kiln." She sighed, looking at Todd. He squeezed her hand. "That's just it, Jason. You think you can buy happiness. Todd and I, we have a connection that transcends material things. We've been seeing each other for a few weeks, since before I moved out, actually." The air left the room. "Before?" I asked. "It just happened," she said, defensive immediately. "We were closing one night, and the energy was just there. He gets me, Jason. He understands that art is pain. You just understand. Excel." Todd smirked. "She needs to breathe, man. You're suffocating her aura." I looked at them. I looked at Becca, wearing the jacket I bought her, holding the purse I bought her, sitting next to a guy who probably hadn't paid a utility bill in his life. And then, the strangest thing happened. The grief didn't hit me. The anger didn't hit me. The calculator in my brain turned back on. I did the math. Rent, $2,400, I paid 100%. Utilities, $250, I paid 100%. Groceries, $600, I paid 100% because she insisted on organic everything. Her car insurance, $180 bundled with mine. Her phone bill, $90, family plan. The storage unit for her unsold pottery, $150. Streaming services, $85. Emergency credit card, in my name, authorized user, variable, usually $500 to $1,000 a month for supplies. I looked at Becca. "So you're choosing Todd?" I asked. "I'm choosing myself," she corrected, leaning into Todd. "And Todd is part of my journey now." I took a sip of my black coffee. I set the cup down. "Thank you," I said. Becca blinked, her eyebrows scrunched up. "What?" "Thank you," I repeated. I smiled. A real, genuine smile. "You have no idea how much I needed to hear that." I don't understand," she stammered. "You're not mad?" "Mad." I stood up. "Becca, I'm relieved. You just freed me. You have absolutely no idea what you just did for me." I dropped a 20 on the table for the coffees. "Good luck with the aura, Todd," I said. I walked out. I didn't look back. I got to my car, sat in the driver's seat, and pulled out my phone. It was 11:15 a.m. By 11:30 a.m., I had called Verizon. Remove line ending in 4588, effective immediately. By 11:45 a.m., I had called Geico. Remove driver Rebecca last name. Remove vehicle 2016 Honda Civic. By 12 p.m. I was on my banking app. I saw a pending charge on the emergency credit card. $65 at Vinnie's Vinyls. Todd needed records, I guess. I disputed the charge as unauthorized user activity. She was authorized for emergencies, not boyfriend gifts, and technically she wasn't my partner anymore. Then I canceled the card entirely. I went home. I looked at the empty spots on the shelves where her knickknacks used to be. I looked at Barnaby. "Buddy," I said, "we're going to eat steak tonight." I slept for 12 hours straight. The next morning, the texts started. Update 1. The reality check. 2 weeks later. It's been 14 days since the coffee shop meeting. The silence lasted exactly 24 hours. The first text came at 8 a.m. the day after I cut the cord. "My phone isn't working. Calls keep dropping. Did you forget to pay the bill?" I didn't reply. I was at work, actually getting things done for the first time in a month. "Jason, seriously, I need my data. I'm trying to upload content." "Why is my card declined? I'm at the gas station. This is embarrassing." I finally replied on my lunch break. We broke up. You chose Todd. I stopped paying for your life. Ask Todd to pay for the gas." The response was immediate. "She must have been on Wi-Fi." "You can't just cut me off. That's financial abuse. We had an agreement." The agreement was that we were partners. You ended the partnership. I accepted the resignation. Good luck. I blocked her number on my personal cell, but I kept email open because we still had the lease to deal with. That's where the real entitlement kicked in. Our apartment lease runs for another 6 months. Both our names are on it. However, I am the one who qualifies for it. My income is the anchor. I emailed the landlord, Mr. Henderson. He's a tough old guy who hates drama but loves on-time payments. "Mr. Henderson, Becca has moved out. I will be serving out the remainder of the lease alone. Please note that access to the unit should be restricted to leaseholders only, and since she has vacated and surrendered keys, she left them on the counter when she left, I am requesting to change the locks for security." Mr. Henderson agreed, provided I paid for the locksmith. Done. $200 well spent. 2 days later, I got an email from Becca. From Becca. Subject: "You locked me out? I came by to get my winter coats, and the locks don't work." Todd was with me and he said, "This is illegal eviction. I'm calling the police if you don't give me a key." I forwarded the email to Mr. Henderson and replied to her. "You moved out 30 days ago. You surrendered possession. If you want your coats, let me know a time and I will leave them in the lobby with the concierge. You are not entering the unit." She didn't like that. She showed up that night. I watched on the Ring camera. She was with Todd. Todd was wearing a beanie in July. They pounded on the door. "Jason, open up, I live here." I spoke through the camera. "No, you don't. You live with your sister, or Todd, go away." "I need my pottery wheel," she screamed. "Ah, the pottery wheel. The one I bought for her birthday last year. The one that cost $1,200. "That was a gift," I said. "It's in the storage unit, which by the way I stopped paying for. You have 48 hours to clear it out before the facility auctions off your Qley." That got her attention. The storage unit wasn't in my name. I just paid the bill online. I simply canceled the auto pay and sent her the login info. The next day, I got a barrage of emails from her friends. People I had cooked dinner for. People I had DD'd for. "You're being petty. She's an artist. She can't handle this stress. Todd is a nice guy. Why are you jealous?" I didn't respond to any of them. I just kept doing the math. In 2 weeks, I have saved $1,200. I took Barnaby to the expensive groomer. He looks majestic. I bought a bottle of scotch that costs more than Todd's entire outfit. But here's the kicker. I got a notification from Credit Karma yesterday. A new inquiry. Becca tried to open a credit card. She was rejected. Apparently her credit score, which was being propped up by being an authorized user on my pristine accounts, tanked the moment I removed her. Her utilization ratio skyrocketed because she has maxed out her own small cards. She emailed me again last night. From Becca, subject: "Let's be adults. Jason, look. I know you're hurt, but punishing me isn't the answer. Todd and I are struggling. His gig money is inconsistent. I need you to co-sign a lease for us, just for a year until we get on our feet. You know I'm good for it. Please, for the sake of what we had. I stared at the screen. She wants me to co-sign a lease for her and the guy she left me for. The audacity is so dense it has its own gravitational pull. I replied with 2 words. Me, no. Unsubscribe. I have a feeling this isn't over. The lease on the apartment is the big loose end. She's technically still liable for half the rent if I choose to enforce it. And I'm starting to think, maybe I should. Update 2. The squeeze. 6 weeks later. The soundscape architect and the ceramicist are learning a harsh lesson in economics. It turns out you can't pay rent with good vibes or exposure. After I refused to co-sign their lease, seriously, I still chuckle when I think about that request. Things got quiet for a week. I assumed they found a basement somewhere or convinced her sister to let them crash. I was wrong. They decided to get clever. I came home from work on a Thursday to find a notice from the building management taped to my door. Lease violation warning. Unauthorized occupants. I went straight to the leasing office. Mr. Henderson looked over his spectacles. Jason. Your girlfriend gave a key to a gentleman. He's been seen entering and exiting with musical equipment. Security says he tried to set up a recording booth in the common area lounge. My blood ran cold. She didn't have a key. I changed the locks. How? Then I remembered. The dog walker. Becca used to manage the dog walker. She must have kept a copy of the spare key we gave the walker ages ago, or convinced the walker to let her in. I explained the situation to Mr. Henderson. I did not authorize this. I changed the locks. She must have stolen a key or duped someone. Well, Mr. Henderson said, she is on the lease. Technically, she has a right to access, but he does not, and the noise complaints are significant. If he is living there, you are in violation. I will have to evict both of you. This was her play. She knew she was on the lease. She figured if she just moved Todd in, I wouldn't risk an eviction on my record, so I'd just leave and let them have the place, while I probably kept paying. Entitlement level, galaxy brain. But she forgot who she was dealing with. I am an actuary. I calculate risk. I looked at Mr. Henderson. If I voluntarily terminate my tenancy and pay the break lease fee, what happens to the remaining tenant? Mr. Henderson smiled. He liked me. He hated Todd. If the primary income earner you vacates and terminates, the remaining tenant must requalify for the unit alone within 7 days. Income must be 3x the rent. Becca makes maybe $1,200 a month on a good month. The rent is $2,400. She would need to make $7,200 a month to qualify. Do it, I said. I'll pay the 2-month penalty. I'm moving out. It cost me $4,800 to break the lease. A lot of money? Yes. Cheaper than supporting Becca and Todd for 6 months? Also yes. Plus, the look on her face? Priceless. I packed my life in 3 days. I hired movers. On Saturday morning, while I was directing the movers, Becca and Todd strolled in at 11 a.m. with bagels. They stopped dead when they saw the boxes. What are you doing? Becca asked, dropping her bagel. Moving, I said. I terminated my portion of the lease. I paid the break fee. I'm out. You can't, she shrieked. We live here. You can live here, I corrected. If you can prove to Mr. Henderson by Monday that you make $86,000 a year, can you? Todd looked pale. Bro, that's not cool. We have a vision for this space. Use your vision to manifest a deposit, I said. I left them standing in the empty living room. I moved into a smaller, modern 1-bedroom on the other side of town. It has a balcony. It's quiet. On Monday, Mr. Henderson called me. She could not qualify. I issued a 3-day notice to vacate. They are refusing to leave. Not my problem, I said. I'm off the lease. Actually, Henderson said, since you paid the break fee and signed the release, you are clear. I'm filing for eviction against her specifically. It will go on her record, not yours. I almost felt bad. Almost. Then I checked my email. From Becca. Subject, you ruined everything. I hope you're happy. We are being kicked out. Todd's equipment is heavy and we have nowhere to go. My parents won't take us because they hate Todd. You are a monster. You have no soul. You promised to take care of me. I didn't reply, but I did send a Venmo request. Request to Becca, $180. Note, final car insurance payment, April. She declined it. Becca, go to hell. A week later, I got a call from a collection agency. She had put my phone number down as the contact for her delinquent credit card, the one she tried to open. I gave them her parents' home number and blocked the agency. The fallout was swift. Becca and Todd had to move into a motel. I know this because she posted a sad selfie on Instagram with the caption, "Struggle love, art is suffering, the world is against us." The background was definitely a Super 8. I poured a glass of wine and sat on my new balcony. I calculated my savings for the month. Even with the lease break fee amortized, I was going to be debt-free in 3 months. I breathed in. The air smelled like freedom. Update 3. 1 year later, the call. It has been 365 days since I said thank you. My life is boring in the best way possible. I bought a house, a small fixer-upper with a big yard for Barnaby. I built a workshop in the garage. Not for pottery, for me. I restore vintage motorcycles now. It's greasy, loud, and methodical. I love it. I have a savings account that actually grows. I haven't dated much. I went on a few dates, but the moment I smell entitlement, I check out. I'm hyper-aware of the red flags now. I need a guy who can handle me translates to, I need a guy to fund me. No thanks. Yesterday I was in the garage sanding down a fuel tank on a '78 Honda. My phone rang. Unknown number. Usually I ignore these, but I was waiting for a call from a parts supplier. Hello? I paused. Who is this? Jason, is that you? It was Becca. Her voice sounded ragged, thinner. Becca? I wiped my hands on a rag. Why are you calling? He left me, Jason, she wailed. Todd, he left me. Okay, I said. I felt nothing. Not joy, not pity, just neutral. He cheated on me, with a drummer named Skylar. Can you believe it? I can, actually. He stole my kiln, she screamed. He sold it for drug money or sound equipment. I don't even know. He took everything. He stuck me with the motel bill. That sounds rough, I said. I have nothing, Jason. I'm at the bus station. I was thinking about you, about us, about how safe I felt with you. Here it comes, the pivot. I made a mistake, she whispered. I see that now. You were the only one who really saw me. Can I come over? Just to talk? Barnaby must miss me. I looked at Barnaby. He was asleep on a pile of shop rags, twitching in a dream about chasing squirrels. He hadn't looked for her once in a year. Becca, I said. Where are you staying? I don't have a place. I thought maybe I could crash on your couch, just for a few days, until I get my art business back on track. The entitlement was still there, buried under tears but solid as a rock. She didn't want me. She wanted a roof. She wanted a savior. No, I said. What? No. You can't come over. You can't stay here. But I have nowhere to go. You can't just leave me on the street. We were together for 3 years. And for 1 year, I said, I have been rebuilding the life you tried to dismantle. I am not your safety net anymore. I am a stranger who knows your history. You're so cold, she spat. The sadness vanished, replaced by that familiar anger. You always were cold, a robot. That's why I left you. And yet, I said, you're the one calling the robot for help. Goodbye, Becca. Wait, Jason, please, I have no money. I haven't eaten since yesterday. I paused. I am not a monster. I am a human being. I will Venmo you $50, I said. That will get you a meal and a bus ticket to your parents' house. Do not call me again. $50? That's insulting. You make? I hung up. I Venmo'd her $50 with the caption, final transaction. Then I blocked the number. I stood there in the garage for a moment. The silence settled back in. I thought about being angry. I thought about feeling vindicated. But mostly, I just thought about the fuel tank I was sanding. It had a dent in it, but with enough time and care, I could make it smooth again. I picked up the sandpaper. Barnaby let out a snore. You're right, buddy, I said. Let's get back to work. I didn't save her. I didn't destroy her. I just let her be the main character in her own tragedy, while I happily accepted the role of extra number 4, who exits stage left and goes to have a nice lunch. She wanted to be free. She wanted a life of passion and unpredictability. She got it. I hope it was worth it. As for me, my coffee is warm, my dog is happy, and my bank account is strictly for one, and that, my friends, is the ultimate luxury.